What's going on, guys? My name's Spoon, and today I'm going to show you how to get the starship that you want in No Man's Sky. So to start things off, we need to go to the basics of ships, how and where they spawn. Each system will spawn starships from its own unique pool. The pool of ships is determined by who is in control of that system, Gek, Korvax or Vy'keen. The system pool will consist of a total of 21 different starships. Of the 21, it will be broken down into 7 shuttles, 3 fighters, 3 haulers, 3 explorers, and 1 exotic. Now, that's only 17 ships. This is where the dominant lifeform of the system comes into effect. Whoever controls the system will give a buff to the spawns of their relative starships. The Gek are a trading race, and as such they buff the spawn rate of haulers to 7 per system. The Korvax will increase explorers from 3 to 7, and the warring race Vy'keen increases the amount of fighters in the system. So now with this information, you need to ask yourself what type of ship you're wanting. Do you want a hauler, an explorer, or a fighter? Once you've answered that question, you'll need to fly into space and open up your galaxy map. Once your map is open, if you look up to the top right, you will see a filter setting. Now with this filter, you're actually able to set it to the life form. This will recolor the star system in relation to the species that controls it. Gek are yellow, Vy'keen are red, Korvax are blue, and occasionally you'll also see a white star. This means that nobody is controlling that system, and that also means that we don't want to go there. So the ship I currently have is my heavy fighter. I'm in the market for a more agile, sleeker looking fighter, so I'm going to jump to a Vy'keen system. Now we've decided on Vy'keen systems, we're going to look for red stars. Hovering over the star with an economy scanner installed on your ship will show you some expanded information about the system. The reason that this is important is that it actually affects the ships that spawn in the system. The way that it affects them is actually by giving them a better chance to spawn in at a higher class, all the way up to S class. In 3-star systems there is a 2% chance that a ship can spawn at S class. In 2-star systems there is only a 1% chance, and in 1-star systems you cannot spawn an S class ship aside from the system exotic. Alongside if a system is wealthy or not, the conflict level also affects the spawns of ships in that system. However, it only affects the frequency of the ships that fly in and has nothing to do with the type or class of ships. Low conflict, wealthy systems are the best for ship hunting. So we're going to warp to this system here, a 3-star Vy'keen system. Now we are in our desired system, it's time to look at the ways of being able to obtain the ships in the system. First off is going to be the obvious one, landing at the space station. This is going to be my first recommendation, as ideally you're going to be in a wealthy system. There is also going to be a chance of having an S-class cabinet spawning on the station for a multi-tool as well. Landing on the station, however, usually takes quite some time before ships start to fly in. This gives you some time to get up to the multi-tool dealer, check the cabinet, look at some upgrades and the stock in the terminal on the station before they fly in as well. The ships will generally come in waves of 4. Once they arrive, use your analysis visor to determine the class, storage capacity, technology slots, name and classing of the ship. All this information comes up on the left and is fairly easy to gather at a quick glance. Looking at the ship's design and information will determine if you wish to purchase it. So I like the look of this fighter here, so I'm going to go and buy it now. To do so, I have to walk over to the pilot that will be standing next to it. Once I've found him, I'm going to talk to him and make an offer on his ship. Now the screen is important to pay attention to, as you'll have 2 options to choose from. One will be on the left in green, negotiate your offer, and on the right will be in red, refuse the ship. Selecting refuse on the right will cancel the dialogue, and you'll need to re-speak to the pilot if you wish to try and purchase the ship again. Selecting negotiate on the left will bring up another 2 options. One will be to buy the ship outright with units. It's pretty straightforward, you'll just purchase the ship if you have space for it. The second option is to exchange the ship. Now what this does is you actually trade your ship for theirs. Generally speaking, your ship will be worth less than theirs, so you'll be trading up, which will get you a little bit of a discount on a trade for them. To make up for the difference in value, you will need to pay units as well. However, if your ship is actually worth more, they will not pay you any units, so you will lose money by doing that. If you choose to trade your ship for theirs, you need to be aware that you will lose all of the cargo and technologies inside the ship. So it's important that if you're wanting to trade ships, that you remove anything you want to keep first, and even dismantle technology to get the materials that you use to install them back. So now we know how to get the type of ship we want and how to purchase them, let's look at the remaining two ways to obtain ships. Similar to the space station, if you have a freighter and summon it into the system, you can land inside it. It will act exactly the same as inside the space station, where pilots, traders and travelers will all want to come onto your ship to trade materials. As such, they will land inside and stand beside their ships. Again, use your analysis visor to see the ship information and buy the ships you want. This method is faster than the space station because it removes the long runway that is used when landing and taking off at the station, effectively increasing the amount of ships that land per hour. Lastly is the best way to find ships in any given system, and that is to park up at a trading post on a planet's surface. To find the trading post, the fastest way is to use the secondary function of your economy scanner by bringing up your quick menu, scrolling over to utilities and selecting scan for trading outpost. This will mark an outpost closest to you, and then all you have to do is fly there. Once you arrive at the outpost, it's important to note that you don't actually want to land on one of the landing pads, but on the ground next to the outpost. This isn't required, but if you land on one of the pads, it removes one of the 7 slots available for other ships to land on. This would mean less ships landing per hour. Once you're here, all you have to do is wait for your desired ship to come in and buy it. If you're waiting for an S-class ship or an exotic to come in, then it's worth noting that this can take some time. If you wait for too long in one area, eventually ships will stop flying in. To get around this, all you need to do is jump in and out of your starship or place down a save beacon and save the game and then reload it. This resets the ship spawns and they will start to fly into the area once again. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like down below, chuck a comment on the video and let me know what your dream starship is, and subscribe to the channel for more No Man's Sky content.